What is up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Endgame Draft Time. That's right. We're going to get some real fantasy football drafts in right now, right here. And we can draft with you, or should I say you can draft with us if you're an underdog. If not, we'll give you a minute. Go ahead and finally take that step that you should have taken a long time ago, frankly. Underdog is the place to go for best ball action all off season. We've been doing this for a while. We've been doing a lot of best ball manias and other drafts, and today we're going to do the golden. I like it, golden. So this one is single entry. And Chris, why do we like single entry? Because you think, well, I can only do it once, but there's actually a benefit to that.
There is a benefit to that if you're somebody who can't either A, afford, or B, have the time to do 100, 150 drafts. You're on a level playing field here because, you don't have to worry about people who do 150 drafts and get exposure to every player, and are guaranteed to have the league winners, at least on some of their teams. Here, everybody just gets one shot at it, level playing field for everybody. Draft your best team and good luck.
That's it. It's why we like Underdog in general, because you're not going against these users who have unlimited bankroll and put bots in there to make lineups and thousands. No, these are real people who know what they're doing. These are where the experts draft. And so you want some best ball action, some real competition with an actual chance to win real money. Trust me, you can do it. Let's do this. This is the golden one shot. See if we get it right. Only $10 to enter. You see all the rules there, just like in all these Underdog drafts.
Yep.
It's half PPR, got your typical roster construction, all that. But let's get into it. If you have an Underdog account, go ahead and see if you can jump in here with us. Go to the lobby. You'll see the golden. If you don't, like I said, sign up for an Underdog account now. Just make sure you use code ENDGAME before you check out. When you use a promo code, it'll be a spot there. Put ENDGAME because you get up to $1,000 worth of bonus cash on your first deposit. Some free cash to play with, but also you get free picks. And you use those pick'ems. You can use a pick'em for any sport. It doesn't have to be NFL, because I know it's going to be a while till the season starts, but you can use it for anything. So go ahead and get in there, and let's start this. We're going to draft together. You can see how we do. If you just want to watch, nothing wrong with that either. All right, so let's get into the golden single entry. Of course, fast draft. 30 seconds, no, that's too slow for us. 20 seconds per pick. Only one entry. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
it's almost
one
full.
spot left. One spot left. There it is. It is full.
I gotta jump in there quick. All right. Anybody watching here get in?
I don't know, but I got the 101.
You got the one. All right. Well, there you go. I'm let me see. I'm at the 10. The 1. When's the last time you got the number 1?
I don't know. I don't
Can't
know.
even remember.
Have I even had it yet this year? I don't know. Maybe once. Maybe.
That's a good question. It feels like it's been a while. All right. Well, that makes things easy.
It has been a while.
Oh, all right. Jordan's in there. Jordan said he's got the 6.
Nice.
There we go.
Congrats on the one pick. Yeah, we say that now, and then Jamar Chase gets hurt week 3, and the one pick doesn't look so good anymore.
Don't even put that out there in the universe, although it is possible. Yeah, Anthony, I know it filled up quick. He's waiting on the next one, but hey, you know what? Think of it this way: you'll have lesser competition in that league.
All right, Chase it is, and the only downside with Chase was like then I almost have to draft Burrow. I don't want to draft Burrow. It's fine.
Well, again, I hate feeling like you have to, like you're already tethered to a quarterback. Like you don't have to stack your top receiver. Burrow's not a bad quarterback to have, but you don't want to reach too much on him. Although I guess in single entry, does it matter so much? Does it even matter at all? Like where you take him?
Yeah, it certainly does not matter as much. That's another thing, because it's not like everybody's only doing one draft. Although it still does matter because when you get to the tournament format, like if I take Joe Burrow in round 3 and everybody else takes Joe Burrow in round 5, I'm at a disadvantage when we get to the tournament format. So yeah, it still matters.
Yeah, not as much, not as big of a field, but of course, if you take a player that you could have gotten a full round or two later, then you're just hurting your team. But Marley, real quick, wants to know, Marley, are we gonna run a mock draft on Sleeper? We do those on Thursdays typically. I think the plan is still Thursday for this week. So yeah, we're doing
Yes.
those mocks still.
Yes, on Thursday. Where are you at? Oh, you're at the 10.
At the 10, wow, CMC at the 8. He's definitely going earlier. Oh, look, actually, I just noticed that his ADP it's creeped up to top 10.
Yeah, this is what I was saying all off season when people were like, "Oh, I can't draft McCaffrey there." I'm like, if you don't draft McCaffrey here, he's gonna be a first rounder, no doubt. Once people are like, "Oh, wait, he's healthy," he's gonna be a first rounder.
Yeah,
he might even creep. I mean, honestly, if he's fully healthy all training camp and he plays in the preseason and he rips off one long run and looks good, he might be a top 5 pick by the time late August rolls around. Honestly,
I could, even though he didn't go in this draft and most drafts, I don't think he'll go ahead of Gibbs, but I can see before draft season is all said and done, I can see him going ahead of Gibbs, and I wouldn't say that's a bad choice.
Nope. And all those times I got to take McCaffrey at the 2.6, 2.7, just robbing people with that pick.
Exactly.
Of course, you still got to stay healthy all year. So,
man, all the receivers going. I guess I'm okay with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Henry here. Interesting, you went Puka over Nico over BTJ.
Just about to explain that. It was just because last week we just put out a video and I basically said Nico's the guy I'm going to over and over again. But here's the thing: this is underdog, right? I've been going Nico over and over again, and I really hardly have any Puka. So I'm mixing it up a little bit. Puka, I thought even if I didn't get Nico, I didn't think I would on the way back. I thought I would at least maybe get BTJ or London, and I did not. But you know what? That means I got Derrick Henry 2-3, and that's fine.
No issues with Derrick Henry.
Don't want to over exposed to one player because, like you said, that player goes down and then there goes 60% of your teams, and that's not a good feeling.
Yeah. And we just saw Marvin Harrison go early in the second. That is way earlier than he normally goes.
Yeah, let me see. 26 ADP went 16. I guess get your guy. He wasn't going to get him on the way back, probably.
No, he wasn't, but yeah, very early there.
I'm not going Harrison over Ladd.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Speaking of McConkey, okay, we got apparently a crazy trade here. Ditka.
What's up, Coach?
Coach made a crazy trade for Harvey, I think Judkins and McConkey for, I'm guessing that's Gianti, Downs, and Spears.
Wow.
I mean, if you're taking the second side, I mean, let's just face it. This is basically you're going all in on Ashton Gianti. You're not counting on those other two guys for much. So basically, you're trading these guys for Gianti. I don't know, too much.
Yeah, but I think he's saying he got Harvey, Judkins, and McConkey. Hold on, I gotta make a pick. Oh, I was gonna actually take T there.
Oh, I see. 4 Harvey and 4. Well, it's hard to say. Ditka, which side did you get? I mean, my gut reaction is, and partly because I really like Harvey, and I believe there's a lot of upside for Judkins, and don't really feel great about Downs anymore. I feel like that's a lot for Gianti. So he got the Harvey side. Well, then I think this is a win. I'd rather have the first side.
Yeah, this is an interesting deal because, I mean, as we sit here right now, we like Harvey and Judkins, and obviously Ladd is great. But if Harvey isn't that dude, and if Judkins isn't that dude, and this ends up just being McConkey for Genty, you know what I mean? I think as we sit here right now, I got to take the Harvey Judkins McConkey side, but yeah, this is one of those trades that could literally go either way. I think right now I take the Harvey Judkins McConkey, but it wouldn't shock me if the end of next year we like the other side more.
Yeah, this definitely could go either way because we don't know for sure what we're getting with Harvey Judkins. I love their upside, but again, no sure thing. The thing is, like, yeah, you need Harvey Judkins to kind of to be the guy there. You need, though, on the other hand, for that side, you need Ashton Giante to be that dude. Like, he needs to be the next Saquon Barkley. Otherwise, this is a loss because let's face it, Downs and Spears are not even guys you can rely on to start on a weekly basis. So, yeah, well, this could go either way, but I would say I like the Harvey side. So that leads to an obvious question because this is official now, right? JK Dobbins back in the NFL. How bad do you think this affects Harvey?
It's not the kiss of death or anything, but I think, again, we talked about this. I think it was last week I think it was last Tuesday, actually, when they were bringing Dobbins in for a visit. It's like Hampton and Najee. Like, Dobbins is still a capable running back. Now, the big difference between Dobbins and Najee is Najee Harris hasn't missed a game since his sophomore year of college, and JK Dobbins hasn't been healthy since his sophomore year of college. So there's certainly a chance that Dobbins is not playing significant games this year. It's literally every year of this guy's career.
Right.
But we did see Dobbins was a capable runner last year. He put together some nice games. He's not complete, he's not horrible. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to be the workhorse running back here. But now it could be more of a 50-50 split, kind of like what it's probably going to be for Hampton and Najee. So I think it's got to hurt Harvey a little bit, of course, because you're going from almost certainly the unquestioned workhorse running back in a Sean Payton offense to you may be splitting carries with JK Dobbins, but Harvey's still a great pass catcher, and that's really the gold for running backs in the Sean Payton offense.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to worry too much in that this isn't just a blind stubbornness of, oh, Harvey's my guy, I don't care. I recognize they got JK Dobbins in order to lift the load, especially early in the season. Because this is the thing. Any rookie running back, all rookie running backs, they don't just give them 20 plus carries from week one. Maybe Jonte will be the exception because he obviously was an exception. The fact he was actually a first round pick. But for the most part, yeah, I feel like Dobbins is going to be the primary back, especially on early downs early in the season. But what do we care more about in fantasy? What should we care more about? Early season or late season, right? And, RJ Harvey is going to be the pass catching back, and that's what makes him more valuable in PPR leagues. So, look, let's just be honest, though. I'm not too worried because talking about late in the season, how long is J.K. Dobbins going to hold up? Really, just realistically, last year, when he was great, he lasted, 10 weeks to 11, maybe 11 weeks? Come on.
Yeah, that's to me still the difference between Hampton and Harvey is, again, Najee Harris. Say whatever you want about Najee Harris, who was also a good running back last year. Legit has not missed a game. I gotta hate this spot. Hold on.
Right. Harris will almost definitely at least still be there, and he'll still be an option. He's not a guy who puts the ball on the ground and will lose the job. He's not a guy who, does absolutely not. He does all the little things right, the things that don't excite you in fantasy, but he'll still be out there week 16, 17. Right. I don't know that we can say that for J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, that part is definitely true. That part is definitely true. And yeah, Hampton, of course, they're going to say Hampton's going to be a big part of the offense, but so is Najee Harris.
Exactly.
Just look, I think when Dobbins is healthy, he's going to limit RJ Harvey's upside. No doubt about it. But again, if if you're placing bets on who's going to be healthy in the second half of the season, Najee Harris or JK Dobbins, I'm putting all my money on Najee Harris. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I'm not putting any money on JK Dobbins. So, but at the same time, you don't want to draft. I would say you don't want to draft unless you're drafting a handcuff, of course, but you don't want to draft a guy a relatively early round pick. I mean, RJ Harvey probably going to go 5th, 6th round. You don't want to draft that guy with the expectation that the other running back is going to get hurt. Because what if this is the year where JK Dobbins gets hurt early in the season and finishes the season healthy? You know?
Yeah, so now it's funny because we're going to see both sides of this. And here's somebody I was reading the comments here. Nihal Ijar was already low on Harvey. Okay, so this just feeds into your confirmation bias. The only reason I would have drafted him is they had nobody else there, and now with Dobbins, you want 0 Harvey. But I think that's the extreme. Like if you just think Harvey's going to be a bust, well then yeah, there's no reason to take him. But I don't see it going that way. I mean, again, you really expect JK Dobbins to stand upright all season long and be the primary back. Like I don't think so. Like Sean Payton shows that he likes to use more than one back, right? Kind of like whether it was Kamara, who I just took, Kamara with Mark Ingram and Latavius Murray and like whoever else they had there, you know.
Yeah, and again, the real value in a Sean Payton, even last year, Javonte Williams had 70 targets.
Yep.
Even though Javonte Williams is awful, still gave him 70 targets. But it's just that Javonte Williams is awful. Did nothing with him. So that's the real value in the Sean Payton offense. Dobbins is not going to catch many passes. That's still going to be RJ Harvey. At a minimum, RJ Harvey is going to get the bulk of the receptions. And that's going to give him enough value on a week-to-week basis.
So I see, probably because of the Dobbins news, RJ Harvey's still out there. His ADP says 54, but that was up until today. Nobody will look. I'm not avoiding him. In fact, I probably would have taken him if not for the fact I just got my second running back and I'm looking more at roster construction. But how far can you really let him fall?
I mean, I don't think I can let him fall past me here if he gets here. Honestly, if he falls to me.
And there was...
I'm just shocked you just took Jerry Jeudy. You drafted Puka Nacua over Nico Collins, and now you just drafted Jerry Jeudy. What is going on?
It's not my favorite pick, but I'll tell you this. I'm again trying to mix it up. I think possibly my very first Travis Hunter earlier as my third wide receiver. Why I have a ton of DJ Moore in that range, you know, a ton of similar receivers. So I was like, okay, let's mix it up. I'll at least have a share of Travis Hunter, but I don't feel super safe with Travis Hunter. So I guess I'm playing a little safer with Jeudy as my backup.
All right. Well, Harvey just went 70, pick 70. Wow.
After Judkins.
Okay, I'm going to do something I normally don't do. Actually, no, I'm not. Changed my mind.
Just by the way, what is up? Rise is in the house.
What's up, Rise?
Guys, always here. I'm going to put up another question. Shane's got a good question, perfect segue. But I did notice earlier the last round, you did get your Joe Burrow. Took him about 10 picks early, but you still feel like that's the way to go?
Well, no, I don't like drafting Joe Burrow this early. I'm not gonna lie. This just feels like such a huge trap this year. But if I don't take him here, he's not making it back to me. So,
right. Well, that's the problem with picking at the turn at the 1-1, right? You got to get your guys. You definitely have to ignore the ADP to some extent because it doesn't really matter. When you go Chase Burrow, how hard are you staring at the week 17, maybe week 16 bringbacks? A lot more?
Well, yeah. So I really thought I was going to get Marvin Harrison at the 1-2 turn, but that didn't happen, of course. Or at the 2-3 turn. Sorry. I really thought I would get Marvin Harrison. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do I want Michael Wilson? Do I want Greg Dortch? I don't know. I mean, it is a nice, Bengals Cardinals week 17 is a nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice stack.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was another veteran who signed, flew a little bit under the radar. Your boy, Nick Chubb. You got Chubb in Houston. It's fair to ask, does this actually mean anything? Like that?
No. I mean, no. Nick Chubb was a shell of himself last year. He's coming off a broken foot where he elected not to have surgery on it. Nah, the offensive line is still not very good. Nah. I mean, maybe I don't draft. Now Mixon's dealing with some injury too. I mean, you know what this makes? This makes me feel better about Nico Collins and CJ Stroud because they're probably gonna have to throw the ball 40 times a game.
True.
They're gonna have no running game. I mean, they do have a good defense, so maybe they won't throw it 40 times a game. But man, they're gonna have no running game. No running game.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty much out on Chubb, 2-3 years ago? I don't think that's changed. All right, maybe not that long, but still. Yeah, I don't think this is like a threat to Joe Mixon. This is just, hey, if Joe Mixon goes down, we're in trouble because they've just rotated a bunch of guys back there behind him. Let me see. I guess another Hawkinson. No, I don't think it changes their philosophy.
Yeah, no. Nick Chubb, I mean, I'm sorry. Nick Chubb was a great running back. No doubt about it. Had a great career. Seems like a great guy, by the way. Seems like a great guy, great in the community.
Right.
But come on, 2 major knee injuries on the same knee, a broken foot. I'm pretty sure I saw a stat where he was like dead last in explosive run rate. He was like dead last or bottom 5 in like every possible efficiency metric for a running back, like bottom 5. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It was what it was.
Yeah, it is. It was what it was. Yes,
it is.
And it's not like he's going to a team with, a top 5 offensive line and wants to run the football. Nah, it's not right. Nah.
No. So interestingly enough, I'm trying to perfect segue here. This team that drafted right after me took Hawkins and they took Kelsey to pair with Mahomes. Okay, fine. That's also the team that took Marvin Harrison 10 picks early. And then this is also the team that took Sun God with their first pick. So the reason I bring this up is Anthony's asking about this cleanup procedure, some worries about his knee. Are you actually concerned in any way about Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Nah, no worries. There are some players that you like, JK Dobbins, Christian Watson. Yeah. Just always, no matter what they do, T. Higgins, no matter what they do, they get hurt. Then there are some players like Najee Harris, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, where it's like, oh my God, his leg is bending the other way. And then the next series, they're out there running around making plays. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of these guys. Remember, he played games with like a metal plate in his shoe. He's playing games with like a metal plate in his shoe, and he's still being productive. Like he's one of those guys that like you're gonna have to like drag him off the field. So I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm not worried either. A cleanup procedure, I think let's just take it for what it sounds like it is. It's not a serious issue. It's just kind of a cautionary thing. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. It's still early June. If it was like a week before the season, yeah, I might be nervous. And if it was like a week before the season and it was JK Dobbins or Christian Watson or T. Higgins or something, yeah, I'd be nervous. Actually, if it was right now and it was T. Higgins, I'd be nervous. If he was already having like something done with his knee right now, I'd be nervous. I'd be like, yep, T. Higgins is gonna play 5 games this year. Lock it in. T. Higgins, 5 games. I think he still might only play 5 games this year. We'll see.
I love that you're sounding exactly like I was on T. Higgins last year, and then I wanted to mostly eating those words, but that's the thing. It's like I just cannot ever trust him.
Exactly, and now he just got paid. So now, now when like, ooh, feel a little something in my hammy, why go out there? You're getting paid. Why go out there?
Because I'm good either way. Man, I don't have any Broncos, but I don't know why Bo Nix keeps falling. I might just take him. Anthony said, by the way, Harvey went 62 in his draft, so not too much later.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart to buy the dip if he dips.
I don't think any of these are about to be taken. Maybe, yeah, they're both coming up. But again, this is not our mock. I don't think anybody in here's taking them based on what we're saying. Okay, so Kenny wants to know Tyler Warren, Colston, Loveland. I know you were easily Loveland early in the process, but now I feel like you've kind of backed off of him. But I don't think you really have gone in on Warren anymore. And I know I haven't, because it sounds like it's Daniel Jones in Indy.
Yeah, so I would have said neither. I mean, I guess it's like somebody probably has to have a better season, but it's like who has the least bad, the less bad season. But I will say now, with Colston Loveland becoming interesting, because Luther Burden dealing with a soft tissue injury and hasn't been able to be out there, and Ben Johnson just basically said, like, yeah, it's very important for a rookie to be out there right now. He's losing a lot of time. You know, he's losing trust. So maybe Luther Burden isn't on the field very much. You know, maybe I have to back off of Luther Burden a little bit. And if that's the case, then we're probably going to see more Loveland. So I'm going to go Colston Loveland right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Loveland between the two as well, just because regardless of whatever you think of Caleb Williams being the guy or not being the guy, he's not Daniel Jones. It's just that simple. So, and I have faith that this offense will be efficient. Ben Johnson there, a lot of pieces. I think Loveland will contribute pretty early as long as he's healthy. Now he actually has had a shoulder thing as well, but it sounds like he'll be fine for training camp, is what they're saying. So, assuming all that, I think Loveland is my pick, but I will say this. We heard, and there they go. Loveland, and then there goes Warren. Cole Kmet could still kind of be a thing, because if Loveland doesn't, start hot out the gate, and, they're still going to throw to the tight ends, Ben Johnson, I think maybe your last round pick or your third tight end, Cole Kmet, might actually kind of be a sneaky good value.
Yeah, that's the thing about this time of year, is everybody just assumes every rookie is going to be good and all the vets are just about to get replaced. But it's actually usually the opposite. The rookies usually aren't that good and the vets just keep chugging along. So like, I know somebody was saying they really like Steelhead's team. I mean, a lot of rookies on that team. It could pay off, but it could also like just completely, So,
yeah, I'd see all three running backs are rookies.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, Caleb Williams isn't really getting the touches we thought, or like, and oh, Najee's it's a 60-40 in favor of Najee, you know what I mean? And suddenly, like, your team looks terrible. So I know right now it's hard not to just be like, yeah, Cole Kmet's dead. These guys are dead because of the rookies. But remember, rookies have never played a snap.
There are always several rookies that don't pan out their rookie season. So, yeah, you take shots on them, but again, you just can't assume that because of where they were drafted, because of the hype they're getting, that they're going to pay off. So I know that's no fun, but it's just reality.
I know it's no fun, but it's reality.
All right, I will take a rookie here though. Just talked about him again. Way too much. Kenny, let's follow it up. Do you like any other rookie tight end in this class? I know asking Mr. Anti-tight end, but anybody you think could be better than those two based on the situation? You know, I'm an Arroyo fan. What about you?
Yeah, but Arroyo in Seattle.
I saw Mason Taylor
I do
just today getting some hype that he could be like the number 2 target in the Jets offense. Is that because I've nobody?
I don't know. I like Mason Taylor. I do. I liked Mason Taylor as a prospect. I like this landing spot, but it's still Justin Fields and the Jets. Can't get too excited there. I mean, the thing is, we've been spoiled like 2 years in a row by rookie tight ends, right? Sam Laporta, Brock Bowers last year. Usually there's not any good rookie tight ends. So I could see this year being one of those years where there's no good rookie tight ends.
It is possible. And this, it's supposed to be a good class. But again, things have to break right. For a tight end specifically, it's a little hard if you're not one of those. I know people think of Tyler Warren as like the next Brock Bowers. You know, he moves like a receiver, whatever. The offense and the situation still matters.
All right, just got sniped on Benson, Bigsby.
Yeah, I think Taylor could be the best of the bunch as far as rookie tight ends, but I'm not getting carried away with him either.
Yeah, I really think this is going to be a year where none of the rookie tight ends are that good. I mean, there are other moments, like I'm sure Loveland will have that game where he scores like a touchdown and four catches for 65 yards, and everybody will go out and pick him up, and then he'll have like 2 catches for 12 yards the next week or something.
Exactly. Cam Wynn. No Cam Ward for me. Someone took him 17 picks before ADP.
Bigger Cam Ward truther than you.
I didn't think it was possible. Let's see. Kyle Pitts, that's a no. Actually, I like Liget.
I like him too, but now I don't know what the severity was, but I saw he was getting his foot looked at today.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I mean, hopefully minor. That's the thing. You got to see if there's any updates. Just said it has cleat off getting the right foot like that by a trainer. But I feel like people have completely forgotten about, like he's one of those year 2 wide receivers that people just completely forget about. But he's in a good situation. I like the McMillan addition because now he can move back into the slot.
Right.
Bryce Young looked good last year towards the end, so I think he's a great late round pick. I already talked about him though.
Yeah, that's the other side of the rookie hype, right? The overvalue rookies.
Yes.
The second year player, the guys who just were rookies, they're boring now. Like they're the old toys and throw them away, and so they go vastly undervalued.
Yes.
Usually. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Around about the end of round 14. Yeah.
All right, we'll grab Gino here to pair with Jacoby. You know, we'll grab Gesicki. Give me another Bengal with that stack.
I don't think you can have too many Bengals this year.
Yeah, I mean, I still like the Bengals skill players. Obviously, I love Chase Brown, love Chase. I think Gesicki's fine. I think Higgins will be fine when he's actually on the field. My worry with Burrow, like he has to give you 4,500 plus passing yards and like 40 plus passing touchdowns because you're getting nothing on the ground. So if he gives you 4,000 passing yards and say 35 passing touchdowns, he'll still be good. But you can get that from Baker Mayfield. You can get that maybe from Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. You can get that from those guys, and you pick them 5, 6, 7 rounds later than Joe Burrow. That's my issue with Joe Burrow. Like, why is Joe Burrow being drafted in the same range as the quarterbacks who we know are going to give you 8+ rushing touchdowns, maybe double-digit rushing touchdowns, 700, 800 rushing yards? Why is he should not be being drafted with those guys?
Because he's probably going to throw for 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. Because why not?
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Okay. See, I'm mixing it up first, my very first and possibly my last, Pat Bryant. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. No, I know. I mean, you don't really. I mean, it's hard to say you don't have a floor with Burrow, but I know this is riskier, right? He's just going to be more volatile. He needs to throw, but actually, I was encouraged. I don't try to put too much stock into the schedule, but looking at the way the schedule breaks out for the Bengals, I think he's going to put up some numbers, like big time numbers still. And I don't feel like that defense. Look at what happens if Hendrickson doesn't show. I mean, then all of a sudden, the defense that was pretty suspect last year is possibly worse.
You're right. No, you're right about that. And I'm glad you brought up the floor. I think you're going to get a very high floor from Burrow. Like, I don't think Burrow is going to kill you. Like, I'm not saying Burrow's gonna be a bust or anything like that. He doesn't, but I don't think he's gonna have the upside of those guys who give you 800 rushing yards and double-digit rushing touchdowns, right? That can give you that upside of those guys. And again, when you can draft guys like Baker Mayfield, who had 4,400 yards and 35 touchdowns last year, or Dak Prescott, who just 2 years ago had a monster season. Brock Purdy, who, when the 49ers are fully healthy, especially Christian McCaffrey, is capable of 4,000 plus yards and 35 touchdowns. And maybe Bo Nix makes the leap. And there's probably other guys. And you're getting these guys literally like 5, 6 rounds later. You can build the rest of your team and then get a quarterback comparable to Burrow. Because even last year, Burrow, almost 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns. He was still, I say only in air quotes because it's still really good, only the QB3 in points per game. So if that drops down to 4,500, 4,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, now you're looking at a guy that's going to be QB 8, 9 in points per game, which, look, not going to kill you. You're not going to lose because of Joe Burrow, but you're going to wish you had just waited and took a different quarterback. And I feel like quarterback, it's really deep again. There's a lot of good options at quarterback again. But that being said, I still took Burrow this draft because I took Chase. So,
well, and it's different in a format like this than in a redraft league, right? Where you have all those risks. And here, you're looking for those huge games, and you can offset if there's those down weeks, right? The lack of floor with your QB2. So, all right. You took Samson. I was going to get Samson.
Nick Chubb was only one pick behind Samson now.
What? Did you say you were going to draft Nick Chubb?
No, did not. Definitely did not say that.
Oh, okay. Nick Chubb's,
and then there's the elephant in the room with Joe Burrow, and I don't want to go too much in this, but this is a guy who's has had 2 major injury seasons.
True.
So again, he doesn't run a lot. He takes a ton of sacks. He gets hit a lot. There's, again, we don't want to like try to predict injuries, but we're talking about a quarterback who takes a ton of hits and is, had a major knee injury, a major wrist injury. I just, like, in a redraft league where I don't care about stacking, there's no way I'm taking Joe Burrow that early. No chance. I'll just wait on QB.
Wow. Well, again, he's like I know everyone just says elite, right? Elite quarterback. He
is.
It's like he is, but he's probably the riskiest of those elite quarterbacks. And I don't think it's unfair to throw out Pat Mahomes as an example of what happens if the pass volume goes down. Now, I don't think it will with Bengals, as I was just saying. It might even go up. But what happens if they just throw it less? The numbers aren't elite anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard. Like, you don't throw for 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns every year.
Right.
Like, those are monster. If the Bengals made the playoffs, if the Bengals were even had won 10 games last year, there's no doubt Joe Burrow is the MVP last year. Like, how do you throw for 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns? And I mean, okay, it was 4,900 something yards, but essentially 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns as a quarterback and not win the MVP. Like, that is unheard of. Like, because how often have quarterbacks even reach 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns in a season? Like, less than 10 times in history. So those are big numbers he put up last year. Huge numbers he put up last year. And again, without that rushing, if those passing numbers drop to more normal levels, say like the levels he had, the year they went to the Super Bowl when he had 4,400 yards and mid 30 touchdowns. Yes, he's not going to be a bust. He's not going to kill you. You're not going to be like, oh, why did I? You're just going to be like, oh, I could have just gotten somebody else way later in the draft and still been okay.
Right. He just wouldn't have been worth where you got him.
Right. Because the thing about the Hurts, and I mean, Lamar throws for a lot of yards. Allen can, but with his receiving core, you never know. But the thing about those guys is, even if their passing numbers aren't off the charts good, it's okay because they're giving you 800 plus rushing yards and double-digit rushing touchdowns. So it's fine. They'll be okay. They'll be elite.
Exactly. You just wait. I'm just going to wait and get Cam Ward every draft. Which, by the way, it was Jordan. Didn't realize that he's the one who reached on Cam Ward because he wanted the stack, and he knew if he didn't take him, I would have. So well done. I settled at my third quarterback for Tyler Shuck.
Ooh, Tyler Shuck.
Got to have at least one.
All right, who is the last pick here?
You'll be happy to know Taysom Hill was drafted right after.
Let's get one more Bengal. Come on. Let's get one more Bengal. All right, there we go.
All right. Well, there it is. And this time, yeah, quick draft. Love that. Love that we just got a draft in, not even 40 minutes. And if you haven't done it yet, of course, you can do it. This is the golden, by the way. So you see up there, one entry. That's it. So you got one shot, which we were at the very beginning. If you weren't here at the intro, this is a good thing. The benefit of it is you aren't going against these other drafters who are putting in hundreds of lineups and every combination. Where one shot. So the playing field is more even. Let's see if we are going to be the winners here. You got, of course, Joe Burrow. Back him up with Geno Smith because you basically don't need a backup quarterback because Joe Burrow is a stud. You might win. If he isn't, you probably won't. Let's face it, too. Part of that is if Joe Burrow doesn't make it through the season, you have Jamar Chase. I think he'll be okay, but, with him as the 1-1, I mean, do you kind of feel like with a team like this, you basically hitch your entire wagon to the Bengals offense? Or is that
100%, because we saw Jamar Chase, a couple of years ago when Burrow was out. He was fine, but he was not Jamar. He wasn't like anything like last year.
Right. Exactly. All right. So Running back, Jacobs, Skadaboo, Tank, Rashad White, Samson, Tosh. So interesting. So you went pretty much anchor here with Josh Jacobs. All right.
Which
So
I'm fine with it, man. The rest of this, I can't lie. The rest of this running back room really scares me.
well, I mean, you're gonna need it. If not Cam, then at least Tank to get at least a decent amount of carries. So we'll see. But you know, your wide receivers might make up for it.
I hope so. I don't
Probably
even know if I
did.
love my wide receivers, honestly, because I took some guys in this draft that I did not do a get my guys draft here.
No, actually, you definitely didn't. This is a little different. I think both of us mixed it up a little bit. You could Chase, yes, Garrett Wilson, a stud. You've not really been a big fan of Cortland Sutton, but you got Cortland Sutton, you got Pearsall, Jacoby Myers to go with Geno. All right, Bateman. And I like Kyle Williams, especially where you took him. So I think it's good depth. Look, Pearsall has huge upside for your wide receiver 4. Myers is going to be solid. I mean, this is, I will say, for having an anchored team, this receiver room doesn't, what do they say nowadays? Doesn't slap, but
Yeah,
it's good.
it's okay. This is not going to be one of my favorite teams for sure.
Well, let's see. Tight ends, Jonnu, Gesicki, Dalton Schultz. It's solid. It's all look. But if the Bengals have their way with the rest of the AFC, then you still got a good shot.
Right. I definitely need that.
I don't know if this is any better.
Wow, talk about not my guys. You drafted Trevor Lawrence. How did I miss that?
I almost did an anti Pierre draft. I drafted not my guys because again, I got to mix it up. But I have the 3-headed monster of Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, and Tyler Shuck. I wasn't kidding.
I like we do an underdog tournament that you only get one draft and we pick not our guys. What are we doing here?
But you never know. You know, our guys aren't always the ones who. But Bo Nix, I feel like is a pretty solid low end QB1. I got him after pick 100, so I think that was good value. Trevor Lawrence for best ball is fine, but and I took Shuck so I could stack with the leading receiver, the Saints, which is Alvin Kamara. I got Henry, Kamara, Pollard, Najee. Since my first 4 running backs were so kind of safe, veteran, boring, I just took a rookie and I left it at 5. Is that too risky, or you think it's fine that way?
No, it's with this running back room. I think that's totally fine. I'm guessing you needed the wide receiver. All your wide receivers aren't bad. I mean, Puka, Evans, Travis Hunter, Judy, Besh, Leggett.
What do you think of the receiver room overall?
Yeah, I'm surprisingly better. I mean, after looking at those running backs, I was like, oh, he must have punted wide receiver. But now your wide receivers still look good to me. I actually like this team.
Except for Judy. I know you didn't like Judy.
Yeah, but he's your wide receiver 4. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I like some of the late flyers I took. Okay, so I took a couple of Broncos purely to stack with Bo Nix. But my wide receivers 7 and 8, whatever. But I like Besh and Leggett for where I took them. I'm just not taking Hunter at where he's going. Typically, his ADP, I feel like it's a little aggressive, but I have no Travis Hunter, and so am I going to take DJ Moore every time there, like the 3rd, 4th round turn? No, I'm going to take some Hunter. So that was what kind of switched things up. And then like, okay, well, I have Hunter. I might as well get Lawrence as my QB2.
There you go.
And then I only went 2 tight ends because I took Hawk fairly early. I took Ertz, who is pretty safe. So I think it's fine.
Are you 100% Hawk at this point?
I'm getting there. Like, which surprises me because, you know, when he came out, right, when he came out in the draft years ago, I was not all in. He wasn't one of my guys, right? I was like, okay, he'll be fine. He'll be solid. But I feel like this could be possibly his best season. And I just feel like it's a good value, right? I'm always about the value. Not too much, yes. Right? Too much Hawk.
I mean, yeah, you probably don't want to be 100% on any player. Yeah.
No, part of it too, though, is always where he gets taken. At that point, you got those receivers staring. You're like, okay, Brandon Ayuk. Like, am I really sure about Brandon Ayuk this season? Like, yeah. And then you have like, who else? Like, okay, Jacoby Myers. Like, he's fine, he's solid, but like, do I want a guy who could be a top 5 tight end, or do I want like a 3rd, 4th receiver type? I know that's
almost how I feel about Jonnu Smith. I'm looking here. I have 62.5% Jonnu Smith. Like,
Really? See, I didn't think you were in on Jonnu this year.
But the thing is, whenever I see Jonnu Smith on the board and I see the players around him, I'm like, just take Jonnu Smith, I guess.
Jalen Noel, that's also kind of surprising. I mean, I love Noel. I just hate that they took Higgins ahead of him. But
I think a lot of that was pre-draft.
Oh, yeah, before the NFL draft.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Anthony, sorry you didn't get in this one. I know it filled up quick. So you guys want to get in the Golden, you're probably going to have to do it really quick because one entry, it's already, I think, like half full, almost half full. And it's filling up very quickly, as you can see. So jump in there, do a Golden, and then the next time we draft, whatever we do, probably another BBM tomorrow, then jump in there with us. So, yeah, Anthony, come back tomorrow. Everybody else, hit notifications so you know exactly when we go live. We'll do another underdog draft. And then on Thursday, the actual mock with you guys, sleeper mock. So again, be ready for that and check out all the videos. Still have videos every week telling you what to do to get ready for draft season. All right, we'll see a lot of you all tomorrow.